I hope you're having a good, let's see, you've had 2 weeks of full weeks of school now. Um, I hope everything's going well. And by now, you should have received information about the child care aware coaches. So I'm just going to make a note to check in with you about that here in this little overview for the week of the 25th of August. This would be the second week in the standard one, health and safety, functional area one. And this is lesson 2, and it's teaching children safety rules. So there's really not anything unusual in here. You're going to build on what they have learned last week, hopefully, and start thinking, okay, if these are the safety rules for us as adults and that we have to follow in order to keep children safe and be really good, responsible supervisors, what is our role in terms of helping children be taught about these things? So you'll see that I do have like a little cameo here I don't usually do, that explains a little bit to them. There's a great video here of a teacher actually doing some instruction with children about how to go down the slides safely. And it's really fabulous. So enjoy that. And then I do my toolbox talk on the idea of children developing an inner voice, learning to trust themselves, and the difference between risk taking, which is natural and normal and we want to encourage in young children, versus something that's actually dangerous, and how do we think about that. So that's kind of the toolbox talk is designed to say, we're teaching children to be safe, of course, obviously, yes. And we're also teaching them how to learn to trust themselves. And there are some questions we can ask them instead of saying things like, be careful, or don't, you're going to get hurt if you do that, kind of thing. So that's what the toolbox talk focuses on. And that might be something new, an idea that's new to them, that we actually want to encourage children to learn how to take risks and how to pay attention to their inner voice and ask them questions about their risk taking, if that makes sense. So then you have your usual reflection questions, and I do have in here this sun model over here, right here. That's a really nice model for class agreements about things that keep us safe. And in the end of the week thing, I do suggest that maybe you might want to make a class agreement list and create a sun together with class agreements that you could imagine would be something that children would come up with. And remember that agreements are spoken by children, and then we help them find the language for them. So, and then you just have your usual objectives relationship, where you decide how you want to assess for that. And then you have a sneak preview for next week. Will be emergency and injury responses, which will be much more prescriptive and specific, because there are wrong and right ways to do those, and you may want to do some kind of a little quiz on that. So I may send that a little earlier to you next week so that you can think about that. So I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you need me.